So, hello. I know I haven't done an update in a while, but I had some time in the car, so thought I would go ahead and fill in on where things are. The last few weeks have been a pretty real struggle, just mentally, physically, all over. I started chemo again to go inside with radiation to help make the radiation more effective. So I started radiation, and then I have that every day and chemo once a week. And the chemo this time, it's a different chemo than I was on before, and they say that after having had all those doses of chemo, sometimes when you restart, you just get really nauseous, and it's taken me down, and I've been just trying to keep going, but it's just hard. I get pretty sick like 3 to 4 days after I get the chemo, and then by the time I can get caught up and get a day of not being as sick, I start the chemo again. So it's just kind of a cycle, but I'm doing the best I can. I've got strong support. Baby girl's sleeping in the back of the car. We're currently living in Orlando with my parents because that's where treatment is. But we're going home. I'm gonna go home for a little bit and just be in the house and take some time. So we're in the car, and it feels nice to just be at least out and kind of moving, and I'm trying to keep up with my PT and keep moving, but it's so hard to just not get in the bed because the radiation makes you really fatigued. So I guess if I'm comparing what's worse, chemo or radiation, it's the combo that's the real kicker. But for me, radiation has been a lot worse than chemo. It's just made me so tired. You can't really tell, but my face is starting to get like sunburned. My eye is getting affected. It's getting like red and kind of sore, I guess. But starting to get a little bit of a sunburn. I'm 2 weeks in. I have 4.5 weeks to go. So that's kind of where we're at. With all of that, I won't know. We also found out they don't do scans, like they won't do scans after the radiation for 6 weeks will be the CT scan, and then it'll be 10 weeks before they do a PET scan, because they have to give time for everything, all the swelling from the radiation to go down, all the inflammation. And that's another thing I'm dealing with. My nose is just completely like scabbed over inside, so they're radiating my face and they're radiating my neck, and it's making it really hard to swallow. So getting any nutrition in has been really hard, so I've been losing weight. Chemo, the first go around, I had the sore mouth issues. I had mouth sores, but that was like the big extent of I had a couple days where I was nauseous, but nothing like this. And so it's just really hard to get nutrients in when I can barely swallow or keep anything down. And I'm just really hoping, part of me wonders if maybe I should just go ahead and get a feeding tube so that at least I'm getting nutrition in, or if I want to keep trying to do everything I can to avoid getting a feeding tube. That had been talked about, and so we're just debating those things. Right now they're not mentioning it. They're saying if I can at least get my calories in liquid form. I'm doing boosts, which I don't love because they are full of sugar and don't have great ingredients. I've got some other, it's called Cape Farms, that I'm also using, but I have to order more of that, and it just sucks having to eat all your meals that way. They're really kind of mucky, and I don't love them, but if they're nutrition, you know, I've got to do what I've got to do, and I know this video doesn't sound very hopeful. I am hopeful that I can do it. I can get through this. Just some days doesn't feel that encouraging to be able to do it. But I really appreciate all the messages I've received, everyone reaching out to ask how we are. We're holding in the best we can, and just appreciate the continued support and positive vibes and prayers. Know that they mean so much, because some days when I don't even know how to pray for myself, it's nice to know that there are people praying, because there are some moments the last few weeks I've just been really, really angry and just disheartened, and so it's been hard to find the words to pray. I just mostly pray, just help, please be with me. And I know he is. It's just hard to feel that sometimes when you're just in those moments of just feeling completely helpless. So, using today to hopefully reset my brain. They're giving me fluids next week to kind of help. I haven't done that yet as a interim help and support, so we'll see how those maybe kind of help keep the nausea at least mostly at bay as best we can. So 2 weeks down, 30 more days to go. Bye everybody.